ADR's Premier League review. Yes, I'm alive. I'm back. Your boy had to travel for work, and then I also got really sick. I was over here with I don't even know what I had, but it sucked. Okay, I don't even know. But I wanted to give a couple shout outs to start this off to Turkish LDN. I appreciate you commenting on the comment I left on AFTV. And then also I was able to catch your live stream, meaning you had some back and forth, respectfully of course. I always respect your opinion and do appreciate that. I also wanted to give a shout out to Never a Foul. Yes, he's a Manchester United fan, but I really do respect his channel. Always goes in the comments and shows love. Not too many people do that on YouTube, and I do appreciate that. Also wanted to give a shout out to James B of AFTV as well. I know he has his own channel. All you guys, I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, Saeed TV, he always responds to me as well whenever I am in his comments for his live streams. And then also I leave comments under his videos that he posts as well. I would love to do a collab with you guys. Would love, I don't know what that means, but hey, look, we roll. I would love to do a collab with all of you guys, man. Honestly, I think it would be dope, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Some of the things I want to talk about, we're just going to make this a short, sweet video. Arsenal versus Porto. As you guys know, I am an Arsenal fan. We were able to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I am so happy about that. I was over here freaking out when we were in penalties. But we do show a different type of mentality this year, in my opinion. Don't think that we're going to win it. Let me go ahead and put that out here. I see Arsenal fans. Honestly, guys, we got to start being more logical and rational here. We just need, I'm not saying we can't win it, because anything can happen in footy, we know that. But I am going to say, let's be honest here, let's take it step by step. We have a good team, they're continuing to grow. Let's just progress within the competition and just see where it goes, right? We have Bayern Munich next, right? So let's go ahead and take that. I do want to touch on some of the other games. Real Madrid versus Manchester City. I am very excited about that one because one of the big boys obviously gets knocked out. I would definitely love that. Then we have Barcelona versus PSG. That game is a 50-50 toss-up to me. I do think that PSG could pull it off because, in my opinion, they have the best player in the world in Kylian Mbappe. This man is just, he's top-notch. Let's be honest here. Man can shift with the best of them. Finishing is grade A, and then this man has got the pace for days, right? So that is somebody who I think can single-handedly carry PSG into the final. And then we have Atleti versus Dortmund. That one, I think Atleti Simeone, I do think is just going to find his way with the dark arts. Let's go ahead and say that. This man is just, the way that he coaches his team and manages his team is just something that I personally wouldn't want for my team. But you can't deny this man is very, very good. He's very top-notch when it comes to these type of games. I do think that Atleti, with being on that side of the bracket, will end up making it to the final. Or it could be PSG, but I do think that my personal pick would be Atleti. But we gotta wait and see. Another thing I want to touch on is the FA Cup game Manchester City went through today against Newcastle. Looked very easy. You could see they look very free-flowing. Newcastle is not really putting up much of a fight. I don't know if it's time for Eddie Howe to be out, but he really does need to step up. The biggest thing that you look for, especially like I've told you guys, I was a professional player, but my career did get cut short. The biggest thing that you look for is if the players are still playing for the manager. That is the biggest thing. It's kind of hard to say, right? They have some injuries. They've had injuries all season. It seems as though they're still playing for the manager, but honestly, it just seems like some of his ideas that he had from last season aren't resonating with the players, and that is hard to gauge whether you should give him some more time or if you should bring in another manager. But, you know, we'll wait and see. Another big game that I'm going to touch on, actually, before I touch on the Liverpool versus Manchester United, Coventry knocking out Wolves. Didn't see that happening. 3-2. That was great. I love to see a smaller team making it to this stage of the FA Cup. But now, Liverpool versus Manchester United. I saw Saeed TV come out with Ten Hag, it's now or never. And for me, I've seen from last season, Ten Hag seems to pull out things when he is in a back-against-the-wall situation. I do think that he could pull something off, not in the FA Cup, but I do think in the Premier League, he could pull something off. Because, again, depending on how far Manchester City and Arsenal get in the Champions League, and Liverpool, in the Europa Cup. I do think that the 5th spot could be open for Champions League, and the way that Tottenham is slipping, which we will get into, the way that Tottenham is inconsistent still with Ange, it could be a situation where 5th spot gets you in Champions League. But I do think that Manchester United, even if they lose, have to play better than they do play. They have to have some sort of style of play. I mean, even when Ole was at the wheel at Manchester United, you could at least see counter-attacking football. It was at least to a point where it was progression within it, right? They were going from here to there to here through ball, or they were playing crosses. I mean, they actually had some sort of semblance of play with Ole. With Ten Hag, one week it looks like this, the next week it looks choppy, the next week it's like, oh, we got a result, but it's still not the football we want to see, right? So it just varies. Too extreme for me with Ten Hag. I wouldn't say get him out, but I would say he has to figure something out. It just isn't good enough. Now, I will say that Manchester United, because of their heritage and how big they are, they can pull anything off, right? Even when Arsenal play Manchester United later this season, we can't sit here and just be like, okay, Arsenal's in form, they're going to be in Manchester United. They're too big of a club to just write off. So we're not going to just write them off. What I do want to touch base on, because I see Tottenham fans for some reason, and I'm not just going to come at you guys, I'm not one of those people, but let's just calm down. Even Arsenal fans, I think fans in general just get too up and too down, right? Let's just look at the games, analyze them, and then respectfully analyze it from there. I was hearing Tottenham fans say that their starting 11 is on par with Manchester City, and on par with Liverpool's. Like, guys, give Ange a second, right? Give him a second. Let's let him develop here. This man is still making mistakes that Arteta was again making, and I know Arteta is a beginning manager, but the Premier League's a different beast. Let this man understand that he can't play high line for life, because that's something he wants to continue to do. But he has to learn from his mistakes. The players, honestly, aren't good enough. I think their recruiting really needs to pick up if they really want to make top 4 consistently again like they did before. Because let's be honest, in years past, they had some top quality players. I mean, honestly, we can go through the list. I don't feel like it right now because it's late here. But Tottenham have had some good players. I just don't think that they have the quality level with this team to then make... I think they can still possibly make top 4 this year. I'm not knocking them out of that. But what I'm saying is next year they're going to have to improve their squad if they want to have aspirations of winning trophies, which is ultimately what you're trying to do. The biggest thing that I took away from today is Fulham was playing through them. Fulham looked like the better team. There was no adjustments by Ange. On the sideline with his hands in his pocket, right? Shout out to Expressions, a huge Tottenham supporter. He was going crazy. I do think that a lot of the times people's emotions gets a little bit higher and expectation starts to really ramp up, right? They went into the season expecting to get, I believe some of them were saying, top 6 is okay. Now that they're in this top 4 race, they're starting to really feel that pressure. Just relax, but also at the same token, you need to also look at what your manager is doing in situations where he needs to be adjusting, right? If he's just consistently doing the same thing and expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. That's something you need to look out for. It's too early to say that, but I do want to put that out there. I do appreciate you guys staying with me. Honestly, I will continue to come out with more and more content. I will drop another video again tomorrow or later tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to drop this video. Either tonight here, 10:30, 11 o'clock U.S. time. I said U.S. time. Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. Or I might drop it in the morning in the US so I can catch up with my UK people. I don't know, but just stay tuned to the channel, hit subscribe, hit notification bell, and then I appreciate you for liking the video ahead of time. You guys have a good one, and this is ADR's Premier League Review.